Hey everybody, assignment number 26 has 6 problems, and for every one of those 6 problems, you have to figure out what's the radius, what's the diameter, what's the circumference, and what's the area. So hopefully you've watched that Math Antics video twice now, so you have an idea about looking at a circle and just picking out, am I looking at the radius or am I looking at the diameter? This video is going to show you how to do the first 2 problems, and then you have to do the other 4 problems on your own. Make sure you write down the work that I'm showing you right now into your notebook so that when you submit the assignment, you're showing me the work for all 6 problems. For the first problem, it starts with a picture that has a measurement of 5 meters, M for meters. Now, since that measurement starts from the center of the circle and extends to a point on the circle, this distance is the radius. So the radius is 5 meters. Now, the radius is half the length of the diameter. If this line extended all the way across, there would be another 5 meters. So whenever you know what the radius is, you multiply it by 2 and you'll get the diameter. So if the radius is 5 meters, the diameter is 10 meters. Now, first formula I'm going to do is circumference. Circumference is the distance around the circle. So the formula for that is pi times diameter. So first I copied the formula. Now I'm going to do substitution. Pi is always substituted with 3.14. And the diameter we figured out was 10 meters. So 3.14 times 10. I multiply that on my calculator and I'll get 31.4 meters. Since circumference is measuring linear distance, okay, how long would it be if I walked around the circle? It's just labeled in meters, okay? Like think about how tall you are. I'm 6 feet tall, okay? It's just measuring a one-dimensional length, the distance around the circle. Area, however, has a different formula. Area equals pi times radius squared. So now it's a good thing that we have both the radius and the diameter, because now when I'm plugging in for radius squared, that's 5 times 5. So 3.14 substitutes for pi. I copy the formula. I substitute for pi. I substitute for r. R squared is 5 times 5. And I get 78.5 square meters. Notice this label, because it's measuring area, and area is the amount of square units to cover the inside of the figure. So since this was an area problem, it's 78.5 square meters. If I was going to make little 1 by 1 meter squares, I would need 78.5 of them to cover the whole circle. So this is how you do number 1. Notice I wrote what the radius is. I wrote what the diameter is. I showed my 3 lines of work for circumference. I showed my 3 lines of work for area. This is what all of your problems should look like. And I'll show you with number 2. Here's number 2. Number 2 is different. What made number 2 different was the line went all the way across the circle through the center. That means we're looking at not the radius, but the diameter. So if the diameter is 18, the radius would be half of that. So I take my diameter, divide it by 2, and I would get 9 inches. That makes sense because 9 and 9 gives me 18. So now I know my radius and my diameter, which is going to be so helpful because I need to know the radius for the area formula, and I need to know the diameter for the circumference formula. So now I copy the formulas down, I substitute, and I solve, and I label my answers. For the circumference, it's C equals pi times diameter. Circumference equals 3.14 times 18. Circumference equals 56.52 inches. For area, the formula of a circle is area equals pi times radius squared. Area of a circle equals 3.14 times 9 times 9. And then area of the circle is 254.34 square inches. Since it's area, we label it in square units. So there are 4 other problems. You are doing the same thing that I modeled for those 4 problems. Calculate the radius, the diameter, the circumference, and the area. The picture will either give you the radius or the diameter, and you need to go from there. Use these models to help guide you on whether or not the circle is showing you the radius or the diameter. Good luck, everybody. And as always, you can leave a question in the comments, and I'd be happy to help. Have a great day.